physics is wonderful because it looks at the most basic of things in the natural world. And it is, so I have been a practicing physicist all my life. I've been trying to find out new things about the physical world my whole life. And what I see is the glory of God is on display in the physical world. You can't miss it. If you're I have so much the edge over you because I can look at the fine workings, the internal structure of the universe. It's not just the world, it's not just the earth, it's the whole shebang. And if you look at the microstructure, which is what I did professionally, what you see, looking at it, is not a chaotic thing. It is an organized thing. There is great beauty and great detail in these fine workings. I'm able to see that. And for instance, I'll give you a for instance. We have atoms, we have nuclei, we have even smaller particles. They are normally called elementary particles. They're subnuclear particles. And so I was involved in all that, I would say in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Back then, it was frequently during that period that people discovered yet another new particle. And so it kept, the number of so-called elementary particles kept growing and growing over those few decades, and it looked like a mess. I mean, how it is not, you know, we understood atoms, they're well organized, it's a beautiful structure. We understood nuclei, it was more difficult, but we understood that had structure to it. And now elementary particles, there's somebody called them the zoo of elementary particles. There was so many, and it was so complicated. But then slowly, as time went on, regularity came through all that stuff. It turned out that what we thought was elementary particles was not. They had a structure within themselves. And so the true elementary particles weren't just a big zoo of particles. They were a very small group, and there was organization within that group. And it was beautiful and well organized. And how come? Well, it's to the glory of God to see that. It is. He's the architect. He's the author. He's the one. And so I see it as verification of who it is that is the Lord of the universe. It is not just nothing, nobody. It just didn't just happen. It is God himself displaying who he is. And so it is not a conflict for me. It is an opportunity to see God's hand in the universe.
So you see the physical creation as a testimony that there is a divine creator.
Certainly I do. And that creator is a person who loves beauty. You know, physics is mathematical. You have to describe it in terms of mathematics. And those equations which describe all this stuff are beautiful. They aren't just any random thing. They have a mathematical organization. It is simple. The outcome is not simple at all. I mean, nature is so rich in what she displays. Well, here's what happened. I have been suffering from, I would call it chronic lower back pain for quite a while. I'd say several years. And so I asked what's his name, Ricky, to pray for me for that, and he did so. And when I got up off the floor, I realized that my lower back was not hurting me anymore, and so all the way home I was sort of testing it out and trying it out, and I was saying to my fellow members in the car, Well, I'm not claiming anything, but it does seem a lot better. And it is better. And I'm claiming something. I'm saying, yes, Lord, thank you for what you did through Mr. Ricky.
Join Dr. Ricky Roberts and the True Light Ministries church family for powerful anointed preaching, teaching, healing, and miracle services in Jacksonville, Florida, and Douglas, Georgia. For directions and service times, go to www.truelightministries.org.